Hello, good day. This is by FX, and today we're gonna check uh, our analysis on volatility indices. This is gonna be a top-down analysis of some selected pairs in the volatility indices, like the deriv, volatility indices vix25. We're gonna start with volatility indices vix25 today. So in BioFX, what we usually do, we start our analysis from the higher time frame, and then we mark out our particular key zones. Those key zones have been marked, as you can see, and as you can see on the overall trend of this particular market on VIX25 is on a downtrend, unless when we broke out of that particular trend channel, and we got support here and overall, and then we have this bullish push to the upside. So right now we are in the bullish correction. We push to the upside, we got a push from this particular zone. After a breakout, a retest, and then we got a bullish push to the upside. From there, we got rejected from this particular zone. As you can see, we draw a trend line to guide us through that particular bearish trend. And then the next step was, we got, after coming back here, we got a support from this supply zone here, and we could see this particular bullish movement to the upside. This is where most of its liquidity lies, and the market came back to swipe liquidity from this particular zone here. We're going to zoom in a little bit so you see exactly the candlestick patterns that have been formed. So let's go down to the 4 hours so you see what exactly has transpired here. You see we're on a bearish trend on the 4 hours time frame. As you can see, we are not looking to push to the upside. What price action do you feel? So we're expecting a particular breakout of this particular trend line, and then we continue being bullish, because we have covered up all we have tapped with all liquidity around this particular movement in this particular market right now. And as you can see, we got a triple bottom here, just to tell you that sellers have failed to push the market below this particular support zone. As you can see, when the market came back, swipe liquidity here, and then started pushing to the upside. So we predicted the market is going to buy. It almost stops us out, and then we now got in, and the market is almost close to our TP right now. Right. So let's go down to the smaller time frame so you see the candlesticks that have been formed on VIX25. We saw this head and shoulder. These particular zones you saw was a mark. This was the left side shoulder, and this is the head, and this is the right shoulder, right? And everything played out as expected. We just got a breakout below, and we're expecting to buy the market only when there's a specific breakout to the upside. And what happened? We got a rejection back, filled up this imbalance you can see here, and then the market shoot up, and our next zone is coming up at around 1963, 1966.5618. So we are looking for more bullish push to the upside. So let me reduce the bearish view of this particular buy order setup, so the candlestick will show more. Right, as you can see, this is what we predicted, that the market is going to continue being bullish, and exactly we are now at this particular zone here. So we're expecting a bullish push to this particular zone. Then after a breakout of this particular resistance zone, we'll now be looking for buy setup more to the upside, because we think the market is going to reverse, and then we're going to continue our bullish trend to the upside, right? So the overall bullish trend will start after a complete breakout on this higher time frame sell side liquidity, right? So let's say we are able to catch this particular movement here and the market comes and then break above, we're going to retest and then a breakout, a retest, and then a push to this particular zone. So we're going to continue then looking for more buy setup to the upside, right? So as you can see, when we started the analysis from the higher time frame, you could see what correlation do we have, because we saw this particular bearish move and this was a correctional move of this particular bullish push to the upside. So we are in a correctional channel and we are almost close to break out and then continue our bullish uptrend to the upside. You know, remember on the highest time frame, this was a bearish channel, then a breakout, and then a retest, right? Then we got a bullish push, and this bullish push now, this is the correctional phase. And you know what, a bullish push in a falling channel means a bullish momentum being formed, right? If you know your chart patterns very, very well. So I'm still expecting to go bullish on this particular movement. So let's go down to the 15-minute time frame so we see more detailed candlestick analysis of this particular zone. This was the left shoulder, then the head, and then the left shoulder, which was being formed. So we pick our trade from this particular zone and it almost hit our SL, and then we got a bullish push to the upside. So right now we are making continuous move to this particular zone here. As you can see, this is also a bullish trend being informed. As you can see, this is a very, very good movement because there's a bullish push to the upside, right? Very, very strong. In this particular market, you can see with the kind of volumes and the momentum, we can see both the bulls and the bears are all in control. But since we are now above this particular resistance zone now, we'll be bullish at least back up to this particular zone. So we can only react to continue buying once we hit this zone and then maybe see a breakout of this particular zone and then a retest. Will now be going long on VIX25. So that's it for VIX25. Okay guys, this is vix75 and we are starting our analysis from the higher time frame. So let's switch to the 8 hours time frame to zoom in. As you can see, this was we marked all key zones on this particular pair, and as you can see, we are bearish on this particular pair. So right now we were previously on a downtrend and then we got breakout, and then what happened after the breakout? A bullish breakout to the upside, we got rejection, and then we are now in a consolidation channel. In this particular channel, this is what we call a bearish triple top. Why? Because after a bearish fall, the market now entered into a consolidation consolidation channel, and this consolidation channel is what we call a bearish channel, right? We're expecting after a triple top, a crash back to the downside. As you can see, this was the prediction we are expecting. So right now we are looking to get into the market. So if we go down closely, let's go down to the 4 hours time frame on VIX75. Let's look out for more candlestick patterns and price action, right? So once you go down, as you can see, we got a very, very good rejection here by giving us a double top, right? So when we saw this double top and we broke below our, we marked out a resistance zone around this particular zone, and we saw that particular zone being formed and very, very strong, because after a pullback, after a breakout, the market came back to retest and we started looking for sales to the downside. A more confirmation to keep on selling this particular market would be once we break out below this particular zone, this particular support zone. the particular support zone is just below. So we got this particular, we started selling. As you can see, we are in profit already on this particular pair. So let's go down to the smaller time frame, like the 1 hour, so you could see how the candle movements are. So as you can see, I think we got another confirmation here. This is a rejection and this is another rejection, giving us a kind of, let's say, a double top, because this is a double top rejection around this particular zone here. So we are expecting the market to sell more to the downside. You see, we started selling here, we came here support. So this was our confirmation that if the market breaks below this support zone we have here, we're going to continue long. So we sold from this particular zone, took profit, and then the market came back here, and now we are now in a bearish trend. So for those who want to re-enter into this particular market, you just get your confirmation now. So let's go back to 15 minutes so that we'll see what really transpired within that range of candlestick. So as you can see, this is a little bit thick. Let me see if I can reduce this. Let me see if I can reduce this. Okay, I think this is the best I can get, but let me make this a little bit transparent so we could be able to see the candlesticks more. So as you can see, we got this bullish pushback to the upside, got rejected around this particular zone. As you can see, we are having a double top around this particular zone, so we are crashing down. So a more confirmation after this M pattern, we are looking for a breakout and then a retest. We'll now be looking to sell long on vix75, at least a sell down to this particular support zone here. So as you're checking for more confirmation, you'll be adjusting those zones to see which one correlates with your entries, and then you see we are looking to go long. We're going to sell more on vix75. So that's a quick review on vix25. As you can see, we're in a bearish channel and we are looking to sell vix75 more. But as you can see, if we zoom out, this is a long time project, so we are scalpers in the market. So we're going to be looking for our entries on the smaller time frame and utilizing our SL, and then a very big uh, uh, big catch in the particular momentum or in the market, right? As you can see, on that particular big trend, we're having a crash, bullish, a crash, right? So we are expecting this particular movement to play out, a breakout here and then a retest, then we'll continue selling to the downside. So you see, so it's a bullish move, and then we came in, we are now resisted around this particular key. These are key zones we marked out. As you can see, the market always react when they come here. As you can see, we got a 3 top and then a 2 bottom, so we're looking for a crash to the downside. This is vix75, and thank you. The next pair, we'll go into the next pair right now. Okay guys, this is volatility indices 100s, right? This volatility indices 100s, and this is the movement. You can tell after a zoom out, this on the higher time frame, we saw the market in a bearish move and then now in the channel, right? But right now, as you can see, we broke above this particular channel we are seeing here. This is our resistance. This is our resistance here, and these are support. Then within those particular zones, these key zones, we have our support and resistance, right? These are now all support because we got support. This was a previous resistance and we break above. This was also a previous resistance and we broke above. So right now, as you can see, we are now hovering above this particular movement. So as you can see, after a bullish push to the upside, we broke above this particular resistance, but there's a very huge fair value gap left by the market. So we are seeing a ascending triangle which is squeezing, so there's possibility of we crashing back down to fill up this particular fair value gaps and then continue to the upside. This is our support zone on the smaller time frame, on the smaller time frame, because this was the previous low we have seen, and this is the highest high we have seen. So right now we are predicting that the market is going to retest, fill up this particular fair value gaps here and get support around this zone and then continue pushing to the upside. So let's go down to the smaller time frame so you could see exactly what is happening in the market. So we are predicting we're going to enter this particular market if there's a confirmation that any of this movement has been achieved, right? We're expecting the market to come and then break below this particular zone, so our entries will be just around this particular zone and our stop losses will be below, right, due to this huge imbalance we saw in the higher time frame, right? This particular bullish movement, we need the market to correct it, right? So this was the previous support, so we're expecting once the market is crashing, we broke above this particular below this particular zone, and then we're going to be looking for sales to the downside. So our sell entries have not been triggered yet on this particular trade, so some things might fail. If we have a bullish push out to the upside, that means we're going to continue to the upside, right? But I'm expecting this particular movement to fill up this particular move and then before we start moving to the upside, because this market have really bought and we're expecting an exhaustion or a retracement before continuing long on VIX100s. As you can see, let's go back to the 4 hours so you could see the key zones and why we believe it's gonna sell, and then we continue to downside, because this was the resistance zone, this was another support zone here, and this was all support zones, right? And we got a bullish push to the upside. This particular correctional movement is telling us that okay, the bulls are a little bit weak, so we are waiting for sellers to come and then push this particular market to the downside before we continue being bullish, right? As you can see, this is overall a crash and then in a channel, so we're expecting a bullish move, quite all right, but the market has overbought. So we are looking for a premium discount zone. As you can see, if we use our Fibonacci zone on this particular zone movement to the upside, right, this particular movement to the upside, as you can see, the premium zone is around this particular zone here. The premium discount zone is around this particular zone, so I'm expecting a crash to this particular zone, then we'll start looking for buys to the upside. So that's it for VIX100, and we're going to check the other pair. Okay, this is VIX10, and this is our analysis on VIX10. We got this bullish push to the upside, right? We got this bullish push to the upside, broke above this was a previous resistance zone here. This was a previous discount zone at around this particular zone here, this particular key zone here. This was a previous discount zone. As you can see, when the market came here previously, it usually react to the downside. So we're going to mark this particular zone is also valid one. This one is particular. It's very good because the market came here almost 3 times and then the market usually reject. Then after that, we broke above that particular zone. This to tell you that if the zone is very valid, after a breakout, the market comes back and then retests and then continue to the upside. So what are we having here on the higher time frame on VIX10? As you can see, we have the bullish push, and now we are now in a correctional channel, and this channel is what we call a bullish flag in the form, right? Because this part, after a bullish move, we're in a correctional movement to the upside. So right now you see this particular movement, we came back to take liquidity here, and the market gave us a double bottom to tell us that this is a very, very huge market reversal to the upside, right? As you can see, this is what we predicted that the market is going to do. As you can see, we're already seeing a bullish push to the upside. So we might see a little bit of consolidation around this particular zone like this, and then we now push to the upside. So right now, as you can see, this is the price action we saw. We saw a W pattern being formed here, and then we predicted the market's going to push up. So it's either it's push up and then comes back and retest, and then we push out again to break out of this particular trend line, and then we continue our bullish momentum to the upside, right? So let's go down to the smaller time frame, like the 15 minutes, so you see how clearly the market is playing out on VIX10, right? So we drew our trend line on the smaller time frame to direct us up. As you can see, we started buying from here and we are in deep profit, right? We started buying from this particular zone here. You see, we bought from this particular zone, a crash, and then we bought again, and then we are now continuing to the upside, right? Our stop losses have not been hit. Our stop losses, we can keep adjusting our stop losses now, as you can see. So we are looking for more push, more bullish push to the upside. So until this particular trade has been achieved, right? A bearish consolidation, bullish consolidation here, and then a push to the upside. So let's go back to 1 hour so we could see how clearly the zooms are. So as you can see, this is what we're expecting, at least a push, and then we get reactions here, and then a breakout, then we come back. Our first take profit will be this zone, and then this zone, right? That should be if you're patient enough, because it's a long time project. But for scalpers, we're just going to look for buys from this zone, and then we take our profit around here. First TP will be here, and then second TP will be here, right? So that's for VIX10. Okay guys, this is VIX50, and as you can see on the higher time frame, we look like in a ranging market, right? So this is our highest low we have seen, and this is our highest high zone, key zones we have seen. So these are just midway support and resistance zones here. So right now, as you can see, we touched the very low here and we got support, and then we are looking to buy this particular market at least back up. So this particular uh correction is almost over, but it's going to be over once we have a closure above this particular trend line. As you can see here, this to tell us that we're going to continue being bullish because we got support. We got a support here, right? And we got a resistance here. But right now, as you can see, something similar of this particular market, it look bearish because of this head and shoulder pattern we're seeing. And this, if this is the right shoulder, the left shoulder, here's the right shoulder that's going to form. So there's possibility of we coming back down before continuing up due to this head and shoulder pattern we have seen on the higher time frame. So we're going to look if the market rejects from this particular zone. So we're going to sell this market here. Let's see something of this nature, back up, and then maybe back down here. Then from there, we'll now be looking for buys to the upside, something of that nature. That's on the higher time frame. So before that particular movement can be achieved, we have to go down to the smaller time frame to see what candlesticks are being formed on VIX50. So as you can see on the higher time frame, we saw an head and shoulder, and that particular head and shoulder, we have this candlestick pattern here that's been formed, right? This is a bullish push, and then now a correction, and then a bullish push to the upside. So we're going to mark all these particular zones. We are looking to scalp and then get out of the market as fast as possible. Once you meet your trading targets, you leave the market, right? So this is the major resistance we're waiting. If this market can come back here and then get rejected, then we'll be coming back down because of that head and shoulder we're seeing on the smaller time frame, unless if it doesn't hold. But this is a particular resistance trend here that we were working with. So once there's a breakout within that particular zone, we'll be buying long, as you can see. So we're going to reduce most of these lines so the chart should not be confusing. But I went back into, I made this analysis like this so it will be more easier for you to understand exactly what the market is saying. A bearish move to the downside, which then we started a bearish consolidation here. Then a breakout to the downside, and we got support here, and then a bullish push to the upside. So a confirmation now that we're going to continue up if this shoulder and head pattern doesn't hold. So I'm expecting a bearish push to the downside. But if we break above and get a support, we'll be looking for buys until we break out of this trend line, and then we continue our bullish trend. So that's for VIX50. So we're going to the other pair. Okay guys, this is step index, and as you can see on step index, we were previously on a downtrend, and then we got broke out here on this particular pair, step index, right? Step index is also volatile, just like volatility index 75, right? As you can see on step index, on the higher time frame, we broke out of trend line, got a bullish push, and then now we are back from our entry zone where we got this bullish momentum to the upside. So I'm still looking to buy into this particular market, but right now, as you can see, we are in a bearish move to the downside. This could be a correction because this was a bearish move, and then we got bullish, and now we are now in a correctional channel. So there's possibility of we rejecting back to the upside, right? As you can see, this was a bearish fall and then a correction. So you know what that means, right? It's a bullish correction in play, right? So we need like triple bottom to start looking for complete breakout on this particular step index. So this was a bullish push and this was a correction, and now we are here. So I'm looking for more correctional move to the upside. So let's go down to the smaller time frame, like the 4 hours, so you could see exactly how the candlestick chart has been. As you can see here, previously on a downtrend, then what, we broke out a little and then came back to this particular zone. So I'm expecting more buys from this zone here, and our stop losses will just be just below. So we ain't gonna risk anything much. Just patiently wait for the market to come, then you start looking for buys. This on step index, guys, as you can see, this was a bearish move, and then we're in a correctional channel. So this is a bearish, this is a bullish pattern in form, but you know, this on a higher time frame, it's gonna, you know, in a bigger trend, there's a smaller trend, right? Internal structure and the outer structure, right? External structure. So that means this is a correction. This was a bullish move and this is a correction. So we're expecting a bullish reversal back to the upside. So thank you guys. This is vix50.